Hey guys, Jen Alves here with New Stylee, your guide to getting the inside out. This episode is special because this is the first of 3 installments for Winning Week. I'm stoked about it and I hope that you're looking forward to it as much as I am. This episode, we're talking about how do you know it's time to quit your 9 to 5. You've had a side hustle, you have this passion on the side, you want to go with that full time, but you're struggling with that decision. I know exactly what that's like. I've been there. So I've got a few questions here. Go ahead and ask yourself them as we go through it. And I'm not going to belabor the point. I'm just going to go through it pretty quickly. So hopefully you find it helpful. Ready? Here we go. Have I maximized my current opportunity? Basically, if you just started this new job and there's a lot of room for you to grow, there's a lot of things for you still to learn, maybe you need to kind of maximize where you are right now before making that leap. So think about that. If you are, you've reached the highest of heights and there's nowhere else for you to go, you're doing nothing but making lateral moves every year, then maybe you have already kind of maximized that current opportunity. Can I leave my current job with no hard feelings? Listen, I know what it's like to be thoroughly annoyed with my job, my coworkers, my bosses, all of that fun stuff. But if you're quitting because you just want to stick it to the man, or if you're quitting because you just need out, it may not be a good ground to kind of start your new venture on. Make sure that you are leaving with no hard feelings. You're at peace with the people that you're working with or whatever it is that's kind of irking you right now. Have I sown? Have I invested enough? Have I given enough into myself, into where I'm going, into my current opportunities, into the visions of others, into my church? These are all things you kind of want to make sure you've got down pat before you go ahead and step out on faith. Do I still have the grace for the place? We know what it's like to, kind of struggle on Monday mornings, especially, to get into the job and, and kind of do what we're supposed to do. There are times when it's hard, but we still have grace on us. We still have, God's grace kind of helping us get through. But there will come a time where that grace is gone. You probably just need to go ahead on and follow Him. The next question is, am I ready to make the sacrifice? Listen, it's not going to be smooth sailing. When you quit your job and you move on to kind of building your own business, there are some ups and downs. It's kind of treacherous terrain at times. And so there are some sacrifices that you're going to have to make. It's better to, be realistic with yourself right now and be willing to make whatever sacrifices are necessary now. That's not always the case with everyone. Some people are lucky and are blessed to quit their jobs and kind of move into prosperity right away. That's not always the case, and so you have to be prepared for either scenario. Okay, the next question is, do I have a clear enough understanding of my next steps? It's cool to be able to say deuces to your boss, but once you do that, what are you going to do next? What's your plan? What's your strategy? You don't necessarily have to have everything outlined clearly and know exactly how you're going to get from point A to point B, because that's not realistic, but you should have a general guideline of where you need to be going. If you quit on Friday, what are you doing Monday morning? And finally, the last question, and for me, what's the most important question is, who runs the show? We all fantasize about quitting our jobs, so we don't have to answer to anybody, we don't have to, all of that. But truth of the matter is, we're gonna be answering to a lot of people. Hopefully, we'll have a lot of clients. Of course, we'll have to be accountable to them. But more importantly, you have to acknowledge who runs the show. And if you're a Christian entrepreneur, then it's God that runs the show. You know what I mean? That's who you're gonna be going to for grace and for advice and for direction and all of that. And yeah, sure, it sounds preachy, it sounds churchy, but it's the truth. We can't do this on our own. And so we have to acknowledge that first. If you think that you're gonna, kind of quit your job and kind of do this thing in your own strength, I wouldn't advise that. So be sure you know who runs the show, who's really, making this thing work, who's really giving you the power to get wealth, and that is my list. If you have made that leap of faith and there is a major question that you had to ask yourself or a realization that you needed to make in order to do so, and I didn't list it here, which I'm sure, there's a lot that I haven't touched on, put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please let me know. Like or comment in the area below. Let me know. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you think that this video would help somebody that you know, please share it with them. As always, I want to encourage you to join my e-newsletter. So visit www.gettheinsideout.com and do so. Okay? Thanks, y'all.